Today, the irresistible force meets the immovable object. McGuire, starring as the force, Tom Glavin cast in the role of object. A sold-out house in St. Louis as Fox presents the Braves and the Cardinals for your pleasure today. Welcome to St. Louis. Josh Lewin along with George Brett. Great to have you with us today. We're going to turn on the Wayback Machine, Mr. Peabody. Going to get you back to 1980, where on this date, George Brett was hitting .395 and chasing down a .400 batting average. The hot spotlights were on you, just as they are on McGuire right now.
Well, it was tough to deal with the times for me back in 1980, but I had one thing going for me. We were in a pennant race. The St. Louis Cardinals are not in a pennant race. Everything is focused on Mark McGuire. In 1980, our team was playing to play in the World Series to get to the championship series. We couldn't afford any setbacks. Right now, everybody in St. Louis, everybody throughout the country, all they're talking about is Mark McGuire and his home runs. A big, big difference. Mark
McGuire, a tremendous mistake hitter, but let's face it, he's taking on the Atlanta Braves. Their pitchers don't seem to make mistakes.
Not many. Not in the 1990s. These guys have had the best pitching staff in baseball, all of baseball, since 1990. He's faced some great pitchers from this organization this year. Today, he's facing Tom Glavin, whom he's only faced 7 times in his career. I really think Mark McGuire, as an intelligent hitter as he is this year, is going to go up there. He's going to learn from those last 7 at-bats and hopefully do something special for us today.
Braves pitching is tough. That's not exactly a bulletin. You probably already knew that. But as far as what the offense brings, Atlanta's got a lot of that, too. They're on a pace to have their most runs scored ever in franchise history.
When you think of their offense, you think of Chipper Jones and Andres Galarraga, but there's one guy that's been around just for a couple of years. He's 21 years old. He's swinging the bat better now than he has all year long, and it couldn't come at a better time. And that's Andrew Jones, their fine center fielder. Look for him to do something really special today.
He's been terrific the last week and a half, especially. The Braves and the Cardinals, Fox Sports, home of the 1998 World Series, will return right after this word from your local Fox station.
You're watching Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week.
J.D. Byrider can get you the car you want today. Turn your life around by getting the car you want and the credit you deserve. Even if you've had credit problems in the past, you'll be qualified when you call J.D. Byrider at 1-800-976-CALL.
And I drove away with my car that day.
We got the car. It's quick and easy. I got the car I wanted on the day that I wanted.
With J.D. Byrider, you're guaranteed lightning-fast financing and rock-bottom payments. Call today, 1-800-976-CALL.
Let me tell you about how UC Lending saved our marriage. We had too many bills.
And not enough fun.
And our credit was
lousy.
Like our relationship.
We didn't know where to turn.
It was time to consolidate.
See,
new tools.
No problem.
Since UC Lending helped us, it's like
the magic's back.
If you own your home, call UC Lending now, and let's see what we can do for you.
The Madigans were like a lot of us, just making ends meet with their credit cards, paying the mortgage, putting 2 boys through college. When the student loans came due, that was it. So they called the money store. With their home equity loan, we paid off the cars, paid off the school loans. Now they're saving $500 every month and getting their credit back on track. And their sons? They won't be starting out in debt.
The Money Store. 1-800-LOAN-YES.
The Atlanta Braves, 45 games, over 500. Meantime, St. Louis tied with Colorado as the league's leading disappointment. The Cardinals season all about McGuire now. He and his 54 home runs. First, the MCI starting lineup for the Atlanta Braves today, managed by Bobby Cox. Easy there, Mac. It'll be Ozzie Guillen at short. And Keith Lockhart back in the lineup. He has missed a few games with a sore right hamstring. Chipper Jones at third. And the big cat has been big indeed here in the month of August. Ryan Klesko is in left. Javi Lopez has been the catcher for most of the last 4 years, doing it very well. Andrew Jones in the center, Michael Tucker in right. Tom Glavin is on the mound. You'll notice that the first 4 positions in the lineup are the infielders for the Atlanta Braves. They wait until they get to the number 5 spot to show you an outfielder. We show you the Cardinals outfielders, Gant, Langford, and Jordan. And from the Did You Know files, Mark McGwire did indeed win a Gold Glove in 1990. He had only 5 errors that year for Tony La Russa in Oakland.
That's something that a lot of people don't know about Mark McGwire. He's an excellent defensive first baseman. Everybody knows he hits home runs. He can hit for an average now. And not only the home runs he hits, they go a long, long way. But he can play some first base, Josh.
Ken Bottenfield gets the call for the St. Louis Cardinals today. The Cardinals have used 14 different starting pitchers this year. That's the most in baseball. Bottenfield has come out of the bullpen to be one of the most consistent. But, George, for the first time in 92 years, it looks like the St. Louis Cardinals are not going to have a pitcher win 10 games.
Well, they've had so many injuries to that starting pitching staff, filling in now. You have all these relief pitchers. This guy was a relief pitcher for how many years, Josh?
Well, the last 3, most of anyway. He's got some starting experience with the Expos and the Rockies, but he's signed as a reliever. That was supposed to be the script. But they have kind of gotten away from the script here in 1998. This broadcast also available in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your TV today. We're very glad that you've joined us here on Fox. You're a home of the NLCS and then, of course, the 1998 World Series. Sam Holbrook has the plate today. He's your home plate umpire, and that'll be a big issue for Tom Glavin, the Atlanta starter. How's that outside corner going to look? It's the father-son tandem of Harry and Hunter Wendelstedt at first and third. And it's St. Louis native Rich Rieker at second base, product of St. Mary's High School locally. You notice they're all wearing the short sleeve shirts today. They are not stupid. It is 82 and humid here. We'll call it seasonably cool, although as the day goes on, you'll see some sweat.
I can see some sweat in the booth right now. It's smoking up here.
It'll be Ozzie Guillen to lead it off, followed by Lockhart and Jones against Bottenfield. Strike 1 poured in. Bottenfield, a 7-inning performance against these Atlanta Braves and Tom Glavin 4 weeks ago on Fox. He was outstanding. 7 innings of shutout baseball. That one too low. The count 1-1.
I'm not used to seeing Ozzie Guillen take 2 fastballs like that. but he doesn't hit leadoff very often. Right now he's trying to get on base. He's normally just a go up and hack it guy. Ball 2 feet over his head, he'll swing and hit a double to left center, and a ball 2 feet in the dirt, he'll hit a double to right center. Very aggressive hitter.
In his major league career, Ozzie Guillen has averaged just over a dozen walks a season. A season. Mark McGwire's been getting walked a dozen times in a week these last couple of months. In the dirt, 3 balls and a strike now. There's the count to Ozzie Guillen.
Somebody must have told him he was hitting leadoff today, and his job was to get on base by walks on occasion. At least take 1 pitch.
Takes it again, and the count 3-2. We mentioned the Braves at 89 and 46, their record right now. There's the Ozzie we know and love, a foul ball back to the net. Now, unquestionably, the Atlanta Braves, baseball's team of the decade, but they have exactly 1 World Series title in the 1990s. And some are getting a little bit snippy about that, calling them the Buffalo Bills of baseball. It's a label that the Braves don't think is very fair.
That's not a good title that you want. It reminds me of the 1970 Royals. We kept on winning the division, but losing in the playoffs to the Yankees.
Payoff pitch is skied towards the left side. Tatis wandering over to make the catch. Well, for a week or so, October '96, not only did it look like the Braves would win the World Series, it looked like they'd go down into history as the most dominating playoff team ever. There was an 8-day stretch where the Braves outscored these Cardinals and the New York Yankees 48-2. And they won 5 games in a row, but the Yankees, as you saw here on Fox, they rallied to win the last 4 games. As Lockhart punches this one foul, the Braves have to deal with The question now, if Atlanta's the team of the decade, how can they have lost 3 of the last 4 World Series that they've played in?
Especially when you outscore your opponents 48-2 with that pitching staff.
Fly ball to center. Langford moving over. Ron Gant is there as well. Gant takes it. 2 down. The Cardinals actually had him down 3-1 in the NLCS. But then they were outscored, what was it, 32-1 in the next 3 games. And did not get into the Fall Classic. Game 7, the 15-0 whitewash pitched by Tom Glavin. And Glavin running back out there today.
Well, that's something you don't think about now, Josh. But once they get in the playoffs, they're going to start thinking about that. That's going to be an obstacle they have to overcome.
Chipper Jones, first ball swinging. Into left field for Gant one more time. That's the inning. Bottenfield, a 1-2-3 top of the first. And now Glavin will face the Shields, Langford, and that guy.
I talk to my mom every Sunday. Nothing big, just to stay close. Tell her what the kids are up to. And that's why I signed up for MCI 5-cent Sundays. It's just 5 cents a minute, so we can talk for half an hour for just $1.50. That same call is $4.50 with AT&T's One Rate. We save more with MCI. And best of all, hi, Grandma. We all get to talk more.
Call 1-800-Sundays to become an MCI customer.
This is the Midas Gold Muffler. It comes with a Midas lifetime warranty, and it's now just $49.95, $69.95 for select imports. Let's review. Midas Gold Muffler, lifetime warranty, $49.95. Hurry, the price of gold has never been lower.
How do you get this equipment to these troops when there's a river between them? Build a bridge. Problem solving. You need it now in college. Learn it now in the Army Reserve.
Be all that you can be.
The home run race is heating up. Step up to the plate and play the Pepsi Major League Baseball Home Run Countdown. Go to in-store Pepsi displays, fill out an entry form, and if you guess the 98 Home Run Champions total, you'll be entered to win a trip aboard to this year's World Series.
Braves and the Cardinals on Fox today. Just a couple of minutes to Mark McGwire. First things first, the MCI starting lineup for the rest of the St. Louis Cardinals. Delano DeShields leads off. Ray Langford has picked it up in the second half of the season. And good to see that Mark McGwire has some help both in front of him and behind him. Brian Jordan provides that protection too. Ron Gant is in left. Fernando Tatis is the third baseman. Placido Polanco at short. Then that wacky, nutty pitcher-catcher swap in the batting order thing. Bottenfield and Marrero, 8 and 9, in that order for Tony La Russa. Defensively for the Braves, you talked about Andrew Jones doing it all, and yep, defensively, he's right there among the leaders in outfield assists.
And that's not because they run on him because he has a bad arm, Josh. That's because he has a very, very strong and accurate arm. Covers a lot of ground. This guy's a 5-tool player.
And this guy is unbelievable. Tom Glavin, the winningest left-hander of the decade. Tied for first in wins in the league this year. He is 4th in ERA and perennially leads the league in poise. Delano DeShields showing the bunt and taking too low. Glavin's 1-0 on the way. Make it 2-0. And as Chipper Jones points out about Tom Glavin, Glavin, remember, was all but exiled from Atlanta. He was the most outspoken player in baseball during the strike 4 years ago. Vilified by many of his hometown fans. But he has won them back. DeShields bouncing out, 1 down, bottom of the first inning.
It's easy to win fans back when you're out there performing well on the field, and that's something that all these people have done. This whole staff. But being outspoken like Glavin was, he really felt the pressure to go out there and do it. Being booed at home, booed on the road.
And in that 95 season, once play resumed again, he was 16 and 7. Took them to the World Series, threw a one-hitter in the deciding game of the World Series. Langford pops the bunt down the third baseline, 0-1. it up for Mark McGwire, who was walked a couple times last night by Greg Maddux. That's the noteworthy part of that equation. 1 ball and 1 strike. Greg Maddux sometimes goes a month before he walks 2 batters. He walked McGwire twice yesterday.
Early in the game, the situation, you know, there was a guy on second base in the first inning, and he didn't want to give in to Mark McGwire. 0-0 game at the time. Was very, very careful pitching to him, pitched around and tried to see if he could get Mark McGwire to swing at the balls out of the strike zone.
The 1-2 is popped into shallow center. Andrew Jones coming on, still coming, and he makes the catch.
Covered a lot of ground on that ball right there. High sky like this, it's tough.
So the bases will be clear as McGwire comes up. We'd like to welcome those of you watching other games on Fox today. Josh Lewin, George Brett in St. Louis, where Mark McGwire bats with the bases clear. McGwire's been the pace car in this home run race for all but 58 minutes. A week and a half ago, Sammy Sosa briefly pulled in front. Then McGwire against the Cubs drilled 2 in his next 2 at-bats. And the lead right now is 54-53. Good change, and it's 1-1. Glavin is the man on the mound.
He's going to try to live on that outside corner just like the guy did the other night. What he's doing is just throwing fastballs away, change-ups away. He'll probably try to waste a fastball now and then inside, but go right back outside.
They're staying away, and you look at the left side of the infield, they still think he can get around.
And he hit a double yesterday between third and short.
2-1 pitch. Slammed a foul off the catcher Lopez. Sosa has crept back in it with a home run last night. But all eyes on McGwire here this afternoon. As again, Glavin stays away. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There is Matthew McGwire, the 10-year-old son of Mark McGwire. He's got that blonde ambition thing going, too. Everybody's doing it, dyeing their hair. Not Big Red. He takes strike 3 call. Hitting over. And McGwire has a word or several for Sam Holbrook.
That's what happens when you keep getting those balls outside. They throw one inside that scares you a little bit. Just makes you flinch. You don't see that pitch called a strike on a guy going for 61 home runs very often. Calm down, Mark. Calm down.
No way. Who's been thrown? Who's been thrown? There are 45,000 people here hoping, praying it's not McGwire. They want to see him get a few more at-bats today.
It was him.
And there goes LaRussa. McGwire still trying to get to Sam Holbrook. And he better be careful. We don't want to have a situation where this man gets a suspension following this. Sam Holbrook has center stage right now. He has thrown out Mark McGwire.
It's going to be interesting to see how many people stay at the ballpark. Here's the pitch again. That ball not only might have been inside, it looked like it might have been a little low, too.
Mark McGwire, normally a very mild-mannered sort. He was on his way to first. He was called back in disbelief. He had it out with Sam Holbrook. And the umpire, Holbrook, says no more McGwire today. LaRussa will be escorted out as well. Having a hard time with this one, George. You've got 45,000 people that want to see McGwire. Now, obviously, Sam Holbrook makes a decision. We don't know what was said down there, but it better have been something absolutely unbelievable.
It didn't look worthy enough to be thrown out. He came back, he questioned the call. He didn't rant and rave. help. LaRussa came in to help to try to restrain him. That's a tough call.
Do you throw Batman out of Gotham? That's what Sam Holbrook has just done here. Now somebody else, by the way, has just been thrown out. Sam Holbrook staring into that St. Louis dugout. He's just thrown somebody else out, too.
Sam Holbrook's not the umpire from St. Louis, is he, Josh? I didn't think so.
And he better not be thinking of moving here either. There are 45,000 fans here right now that are in stunned disbelief.
The whole lower deck is still standing up. No one sat down since then.
The booing continues as we play the second inning. Andres Galarraga bats, and it almost doesn't matter. John Mabry takes over at first base. We'll try to find out who else has been tossed in that St. Louis dugout. On the ground to third, and it's off the glove of Tatis. That's going to be an error as Galarraga reaches. Listen to the crowd. It's almost as if the game is a footnote at this point.
This is amazing. It's a hard ground ball. It's one of the hardest plays for a third baseman, a ball right at you like that. You really can't gauge on what to do, go back or come forward. You kind of let the ball play you and hope you get a good hop. That ball might have come up a little bit, but that's a tough play. Shoots one out of play. The home plate umpire that we're speaking of, Mr. Holbrook, is an umpire that is on this crew because of Jerry Lane's current vacation. Baseballs are flying out of the stands. Time is called. This could get ugly today. Uh-oh. They're throwing baseballs at the home plate umpire. That's not right. Somebody fired a ball from this crowd at the home plate umpire and almost hit Ryan Klesko.
Now
Here comes another one.
Debris raining from everywhere here at Busch Stadium. Harry Wendelstedt is the crew chief. He might be ordering everyone off the field. It might be a good idea to do that.
I've never seen anything like this, Josh. I missed that disco night at Comiskey Park back in the 70s.
We thought Holbrook would be a story today only because of Glavin needing the outside corner. But when Holbrook threw Mark McGwire out of the game, this is an all Holbrook afternoon right now. We'll return to St. Louis momentarily. A scoreless game, almost parenthetically, we tell you at this point.
We think an SUV should be less status symbol and more truck. So you'll find a truck-based steel frame under every Jimmy to give it backbone and make it as solid and true as a GMC truck. And right now, get this solid deal. Buy a Jimmy and get $2,500 cash back during the GMC Summer Sell Down. Your GMC dealer's got plenty of Jimmys on hand. But hurry, because while backbone will always be standard on Jimmy, this great deal won't. Jimmy by GMC.
Most running backs train for speed. That's because they're looking for the path of least resistance. Me, I train mainly for power. because I'm thinking, who needs a pad?
As the pilot flies through the night sky, the helmsman steers a course that is true. The landing signal officer checks the approach. The weather crew keeps an eye on the storm. The air traffic controller directs every move. The air boss orders a clear deck. The captain gives the final word. And the plane safely lands on board USS Enterprise. In the Navy, no journey is ever made alone. Call 1-800-USA-NAVY. Let the journey begin.
The zero-pressure Michelin. So revolutionary it won't go flat, even with the puncture the size of a golf ball, letting you drive up to 50 miles at 55 miles per hour. Just what you'd expect from Michelin.
The season kicks off on Fox NFL Sunday as the Lions battle the Packers and the Cardinals take on the Cowboys. Pre-game coverage begins at noon Eastern, live from New York.
St. Louis fans have a history of not reacting kindly when a call goes against their club, and certainly with Mark McGwire, they have made themselves heard. Don Denkinger is the man we referenced. George Brett knows all about that from the Kansas City St. Louis World Series.
I thought it was a great call.
I know you did.
The Denkinger call. This one I'm not agreeing with.
We'll show you what led to it, and then it's certainly open for discussion whether or not Mark McGwire should have been tossed. Here's what happened pitch by pitch.
Well, here's the first pitch, a fastball outside. That's the pitch he's going to want later in the game. A changeup outside. He goes back away. 2-1. A fastball outside corner, foul ball. Fastball outside. Fastball down and in, strike three. He's going to throw balls in once in a while, but not very often. He threw 5 pitches in a row on the outside corner, changed speeds on 2 of them, took some off, and then threw him a fastball down and in. For strike 3.
The first time McGwire has been ejected as a St. Louis Cardinal. He's about the last guy you'd ever expect, regardless of the home run chase. Meantime, there's a ball game. A runner on, nobody out, no score. The Braves and the Cardinals. What has Sam Holbrook opened himself up for at this point? I'm sure a lot of folks are wondering. I mean, we flash forward. And what if Mark McGwire ends with 60 home runs in 1998?
Sam Holbrook's made a name for himself today, Josh.
Now, it's not to say that Mark McGwire, had this game continued, would have belted 2, 3, or 4 home runs today. But if he doesn't get to 61 or 62, there is now a reason to look at this game. Klesko arcs one towards the line and left. And Ron Gantz crossing over, makes the catch. So quite unwittingly, a fill-in umpire, Sam Holbrook, has become the centerpiece of this ball game. We're just in the second inning, but it's a ball game that will no longer feature Mark McGwire.
And a lot of people came to see him. A lot of people are home watching on TV to see Mark McGwire in his pursuit to hit 61 home runs. He's broken a lot of hearts today.
Tony La Russa was also ejected. Javi Lopez smashes one off bottom field to left. Been a busy afternoon for Ron Gantz. He's already made 4 putouts. And Andrew Jones will be the batter. Still the booing continues here at Busch Stadium, as you expected it would.
I think any borderline pitch that goes against the Cardinals is going to be loud chorus of boos in the stadium.
One on, 2 out. This could be the 6th fly ball out from bottom field already. All 6 outs that he has recorded. And Polanco makes it so. The Cardinals will bat without McGuire for the rest of the day. We are scoreless here in St. Louis.
Two tickets, $28. 2 hot dogs, 2 popcorns, and 2 sodas, $18. 1 autographed baseball, $45. Real conversation with 11-year-old son, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Accepted all over, even Major League ballparks.
Home run race is heating up. Step up to the plate and play the Pepsi Major League Baseball Home Run Countdown. Go to in-store Pepsi displays, fill out an entry form, and if you guess the 98 home run champions total, you'll be entered to win a trip aboard to this year's World Series.
Into Red Lobster and try our 30 shrimp dinner. Pick the 2 shrimp dishes that suit you. We pile on 30 shrimp for under 10 bucks. That's a lot of shrimp for just $9.99. The shrimp are jumping. So hurry in for your 30 shrimp dinner at Red Lobster. 'Cause life on land is dry.
Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week, brought to you by MasterCard, official card of Major League Baseball and fan of the great American pastime. By Pepsi, official soft drink of Major League Baseball. By Red Lobster, come in and see for yourself why life on land is dry at Red Lobster. And by MCI 5-cent Sundays, pay the least on the day you call the most.
The fans are still exercising their vocal cords here in St. Louis. The McGuire 54 is going to stay that way. Sam Holbrook has tossed Mark McGuire out of the game for arguing balls and strikes. It was an eyebrow raiser. You did not expect that. Rene Latchman is now the acting manager of this game for St. Louis. Dave Duncan, the pitching coach, has been tossed, we have learned. La Russa has been tossed, and most importantly, no McGuire. Ryan Jordan lifting one to right field. Right to Michael Tucker for the first out. Bottom of the second inning. Scoreless game.
Dave Duncan was tossed by the home plate umpire in the dugout after he was the one tossed.
There was an announcement made here. And Harry Wendelstedt went to the dugout phone to let the PA man here at Busch Stadium let everyone know here that if the throwing of objects continues or continued, the Cardinals would indeed forfeit the game. So the debris has gone away, but you can hear now anytime that there's a strike called, they're still going to let Sam Holbrook know how they feel about it.
When he starts getting that pitch on the outside corner, Glavin's just going to extend that out another inch or two each inning.
That's a strike, and it's 1-2.
There's his pitch inside. He's going to go right back out away now. He just tries to throw that ball in there occasionally to get you thinking about it, and then he'll go right back outside. That's where he makes his living. Coming back in again.
And just missing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And George, I think there's a fine line that a young umpire walks trying to establish himself in the big leagues as we take a look at this one. The 2-2 is popped down the right side, heading for the seats, and it'll find safe harbor. If you're Sam Holbrook and you are not a known commodity in Major League Baseball umpiring circles, I suppose you want to let the players know who's in charge, but McGuire, when he's got 54 home runs,
the best umpires, Josh, are umpires that people don't even know their names. They go out there and umpire a game. There's no reason to know their name, because the only way you know an umpire's name is if they do something wrong. Don Denkinger living in St. Louis 13 years after that very, very close call against the Royals in the World Series. Still signs about him at the ballpark.
Gant is polished off. It is, if nothing else, one of the gutsiest calls that you're ever going to see from a Major League Baseball umpire. Not ringing up McGuire on strikes, but throwing him out on national TV in front of the home crowd.
And there it was, just that little change-up away. He came into Gant twice that at-bat inside, and then that just opens the door for that change-up away out of the strike zone. Glavin's got one of the best of it and knows how to use it and when to use it.
Tatis twists one out of play. 0-1, bases clear, 2 out. And that foul ball has been thrown back. That's the second time that has happened when the balls are getting into the crowd. As a sign, I suppose, of protest, the fans are boomeranging the baseballs back out on the field. And much as you may disagree with what Sam Holbrook has done, that's not a good idea.
Because they will protest the game. If it gets out of hand like it did in the bottom of the first inning, there was about 4 or 5 balls thrown, and they were thrown at the direction of the home plate umpire.
This is not worth anybody getting hurt over. The 0-2. Very close. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the fans are wondering how that one was a ball, but McGuire's was a strike. Down and outside, 2-2.
You know, normally in a situation like this, when you got a good hitter, he gets the benefit of the doubt, much like pitchers get the benefit of the doubt. Glavin, by the end of the game, his strike zone will be 3 or 4 inches off the plate.
2-2 is wrapped to second base. And the former Cardinal farmhand, Lockhart, makes the catch. We'll return to St. Louis in a scoreless situation following this word from your local Fox station, home of the '98 World Series.
For in-your-face coverage, log on to foxsports.com.
Star Trek, Sunday mornings at 11 on WDRB Fox 41.
Every 3 minutes in America, a child is born with a birth defect. But the work of these doctors may soon change all that. Meet doctors Robert Green and Michelle Pisano, who have just moved their world-renowned research on the genetic and environmental causes of birth defects from Philadelphia to the University of Louisville. They came here specifically to work with our Department of Pediatrics.
In order to move our program forward, we needed to work with an outstanding pediatrics department, and that's exactly what we found here at U of L.
It's an exciting time to be part of U of L. Come join us.
For nearly 50 years, Champion has installed some of the finest windows, siding, and patio rooms in America. Visit Champion showroom this weekend and save during our open house sale. Experience the beauty and operational ease of Champion windows. Feel the strength and security of Champion patio rooms. Discover the pleasures of maintenance-free siding. Call 499-0350 for directions. But hurry, even though our showroom is open all year, Champion's open house sale is this weekend only.
Staying in tonight? Of course you are. And with the incredible selection and sensational quality in home furnishings that Schmidt Furniture has to offer, you won't want to go anywhere else. For a limited time only. Save on a wide variety of styles and finishes sure to fit everyone's home. Enjoy incredible savings on the best name in entertainment centers, home, office, and more. Schmidt's Hooker Furniture. Every great room begins with a great piece of Schmidt Furniture.
When you combine Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Crispy Wafers, the combination is irresistible. Reese Sticks. The crisp you can't resist.
That's the man who's now in charge today for the St. Louis Cardinals, Rene Lashman. In a scoreless game, we're in the 3rd inning. Bottenfield deals and gets a strike called to Michael Tucker. Tony La Russa ejected. Dave Duncan ejected. But most at issue, Mark McGwire has also been ejected from this game. The first time he has been ejected as a Cardinal. Tucker fouls it. The count tips to 1-2. And George, I suppose that you made a real good point about benefit of the doubt. Tom Glavin has gotten that because of his artistry, the laser-like precision that he has towards that outside corner. But should there be a benefit of the doubt for Mark McGwire?
I believe there should be. Mark McGwire has proven he's a good hitter. Mark McGwire has proven he knows the strike zone.
And he has also proven that he is not a whiny individual. He's not a guy that's just going to get in an umpire's face for no reason.
He must have said something extremely, extremely bad to get thrown out, because he was not having a big rage attack. He must have said the magic word, but still, on a pitch of that nature, it wasn't right down the middle. That pitch was borderline at best.
Tom Glavin, who not only has the 17 wins, he's got a higher batting average than the man who just preceded him. Glavin 259, Tucker 255.
The one thing about this Atlanta Braves pitching staff, these guys all hit. They take a lot of pride in their hitting.
Two balls and a strike to count to Tom Glavin. Ozzie Guillen waits on deck, no score. Field right back to it. He catches the outside corner. Full count now to Tom Glavin, 3-2. To the left side, Polanco smothers it, gets up, guns it, and not in time. Mabry pulled off the bag. And another base hit for Tom Glavin. He's now hitting over 260. Greg Maddux is hitting right around 260. Oh, by the way, they can pitch, too.
And he smelled that hit. Normally on a ground ball like that, on a hot day like this, he wouldn't exert the energy to run to first base that hard, being a pitcher. He smelled the hit. Made a great stop by Polanco, just couldn't get enough on the throw. Had it beat anyways.
1 on, 1 out. First ball swinging. There is Ozzie Guillen. Vintage Ozzie Guillen pops it up behind second. And Shields records another out on the fly. That's been the story for Ken Bottenfield here today. All the outs that he's collected, except for the strikeout of Tucker, have been on pop-outs or flyouts. And another big thing for Bottenfield, each man that he has faced, he has dealt a first pitch strike.
And this guy's a very aggressive hitter, too, Keith Lockhart. Loves that first ball fastball.
Takes on the outside corner, 0-1. The crowd has calmed down a little bit right now, although we've understood that the Cardinals have called in additional supplements of the law enforcement types.
Reinforcements have arrived?
Just in case, yep. It got ugly there for a while at the end of the first, top of the second inning. If you're just joining us, Mark McGwire and company thrown out of the game by a home plate umpire, Sam Holbrook.
And I think this game was very, very close to being forfeited.
Up and outside, 2-2 the count to Keith Lockhart. He fly to left in the first inning. Runner takes off, and the ball laced foul into the seat. Sammy Sosa, when the Cubs play the Rockies later on today, will have a free shot. to go ahead and tie or overtake Mark McGwire. There's a good fan. He is being asked by some of the people around him to throw it back on the field in protest, but that's only going to get him tossed out of the game.
And that nice little girl saying, please don't throw that baseball back on the field.
Lockhart fouls one away. Well, that's the fan who gets it. You can be frustrated.
Here comes one.
Uh-oh.
Guy caught that one with his glove almost right below us. I'm going to keep an eye on him, see if he gets ejected from the stadium.
Well, the passive resistance movement not really in effect here in St. Louis. They're being a little bit more proactive, many of these fans. And rest assured that fan will be asked to leave at this point. Was contact made? No.
Foul tip, ball in the dirt.
And Lockhart will hang around. Still 2-2.
Well, you can clearly see that was a foul tip in the dirt. Made a good call on that one.
Another foul, so a 10-pitch at bat for Keith Lockhart now. What are you going to do? And do the right thing? Yes. Keep your souvenir and keep this game going. Again, there's been the threat of a forfeit if the fans continue to litter the field with baseballs or other debris. In the dirt, and Lockhart works it all the way to 3-2. Runner goes, and a pop-up that'll drift out of play. You sure can't blame the fans for being angry with McGwire out for the afternoon. But the buzzword has to be restraint.
Well, in your opinion, Josh, how many people you think would be here with the Cardinals playing the way they are and where they are in the standings? How many people you think would be here at this game today without Mark McGwire in the home run race?
It's such a great baseball town. You're still talking 32,000 people on a Saturday afternoon, but it's 45 or 47,000 here today. Lockhart loops it to left, and it'll get into the glove of Ron Gant to finally end the inning. And we are still scoreless in St. Louis.
This is the Midas Gold Muffler. It comes with a Midas lifetime warranty, and it's now just $49.95, $69.95 for select imports. Let's review. Midas Gold Muffler, lifetime warranty, $49.95. Hurry, the price of gold has never been lower.
Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo, recommended #1 by dermatologists. It works. Works on all 3 major itchy, flaky scalp conditions. The leading dandruff shampoo doesn't. Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo. It works.
We argue all the time as to who has the better lawn. They're all envious of my Scott lawn, definitely. Scott's does it for all 3 of us.
Now, during the summer, my grass takes a beating.
Heavy sun, droughts.
What the grass needs is Turf Builder.
About September, I put on a Turf Builder.
It pumps it up, it rejuvenates it,
Gives it that extra punch for the roots.
You gotta feed it.
That's beautiful lawn. Look at that. Look at that. Nice and green.
It's thick, it's flush. Fall is the best time of year to put down Scott's Turf Builder.
When you ship with Priority Mail, it's a great way to save money. But what about other parts of the world? There's Global Priority Mail. And here's the best part. Give us a few days more, and you can save up to 70% over FedEx or UPS. So, what's your global priority? Try Global Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
I talk to my mom every Sunday. Nothing big, just to stay close. Tell her what the kids are up to. And that's why I signed up for MCI 5-cent Sundays. It's just 5 cents a minute, so we can talk for half an hour for just $1.50. That same call is $4.50 with AT&T's One Rate. We save more with MCI. And best of all... Hi, Grandma.
We all get to talk more. Call 1-800-Sundays to become an MCI customer.
Good
critics are calling it a breakout hit.
Come on, Foreman, go for it. Door's open. We can hear you. And we can see you.
That 70s Show, tomorrow after The Simpsons on Fox.
Well, tempers running short here in St. Louis with McGuire and LaRussa and Duncan all kicked out by home plate umpire Sam Holbrook. And if you're wondering who's in charge, so are some of the Cardinal players. Renee Latchman is Mike for your pleasure. Let's listen.
Latchmo, you're at the helm? Let's go. Bring your A game.
That's Alan Bennis with the vote of confidence.
Latch brings his A game to the ballpark every day. He has more fun than any coach in baseball.
Latchman, the one-time Florida Marlin manager, one-time bat boy for the L.A. Dodgers. Well, you were going to those games growing up in Cali.
Probably.
Glavin deals it, shaves the corner to Polanco.
There's the pitch he's going to get. Now he's going to expand that pitch on the outside part of the plate the rest of the day. If Holbrook will give it to him. He's got such good control, he'll just live out there.
Fly ball from Polanco will wander out towards right center. And Jones with the over-the-shoulder catch. Tom Glavin is having a Cy Young caliber season. And he did win that award in 1991, a couple of years before Greg Maddux would arrive and hog the next several for himself. And Maddux just might be getting another one this year.
All indications are pointing that way.
Ottenfield, the pitcher, to right field. That takes off. And on the warning track, it's Tucker to haul it in.
I got a feeling they could open up a Cy Young Award museum and base it out of Atlanta. Josh, as often as that award's going to go there.
That would be the correct place for the home office.
Has gone, and you know what? It's going to continue to go there. These guys aren't getting old with age. They're getting better.
The concern for the Braves is the bullpen, not the starting rotation, not at all. They are leading it this year again in everything. Wins, complete games, ERA, name it. Strikeouts. But as for the bullpen, Kerry Lightenberg has been anointed the closer, and he, by the way, is being shut down for the rest of this series. Nothing physically wrong, but it could well be he's a little tired. 0-1 pitch, and Marrero grounds it to short. Guillen with a quick double clutch, and he'll throw on to end the inning. We are at the end of 3 here in St. Louis. Braves and the Cardinals scoreless.
I left my heart, and that's my song. And I've sung for kings and queens and 7 American presidents. It's wonderful to have everybody recognize you. Will shine for me.
Beautiful, Mr. Bennett. But if you're going to write a check for these CDs, I still need to see some ID.
Use the Visa card that automatically deducts from your checking account at the millions of places Visa's accepted.
I left my ID in
San Francisco.
The Visa check card works like a check, only better.
Today, in the Atlantic Fleet, on board USS Enterprise, character was forged.
Valor was commended.
Minds were enlightened. Lessons were learned. Fears were conquered. Worlds were discovered. Honor was defined. Courage was found. Commitment was sealed. Today on board USS Enterprise, over 5,000 journeys began anew. What did you do? What did you do today?
Call 1-800-USA-NAVY. Let the journey begin.
Sports cars are great if you're into leather and chrome. But let's hope you're not into wood. Presenting Sonoma by GMC. Vortec power and a choice of 4 different tune suspensions to make sure you never get bored. Sonoma by GMC, where sports car meets pickup. Now get Sonoma with 0.9% APR financing or $2,000 cash back on all 98 models during the GMC Summer Sell-Down at your GMC dealer today.
Who survived King of the Hill's Big Blast? Watch Tuesday at 8, 7 Central for updates. Then find out on the season premiere, Tuesday, September 8th on Fox.
6-time All-Star Tom Glavin, a 5-pitch inning to keep this thing scoreless. He has more hits today than he's allowed. It's 1-0. In that respect, it is 0-0 on the scoreboard as we now play the 4th inning. And Ken Bottenfield will face the thicket of the Atlanta batting order: Chipper Jones, Andres Galarraga, and Ryan Klesko. A pop-up, and Bottenfield's been getting plenty of those. Polanco makes the catch. Ken Bottenfield, who wasn't supposed to be a starting pitcher this year, now has 125 innings in the books.
That's a lot for a reliever.
Bottenfield and Glavin are hooked up 4 weeks ago on Fox in a terrific duel. It was a 1-0 game through 7 innings. But once Bottenfield left, Atlanta scored 3 times, won the game. Just one inside, barely, to Galarraga. The 1-0 pitch. Rip and a miss, 1-1. And if you're wondering why that first ball elicited such an extremely negative response, if you're just joining us, that's because Sam Holbrook has been the eye of the storm today. Strike at the knees.
He better call that one a strike.
Holbrook again after ringing up Mark McGwire on a called 3rd strike to end the 1st inning. Threw McGwire out of the game. And La Russa and Dave Duncan. Slider outside, 2-2. I mean, if you've just wandered into this stadium, you sit down in your seat and you wonder, why are the St. Louis fans booing
every close pitch?
Every single close pitch.
And why isn't Mark McGwire playing first base?
Hasn't he lost an awful lot of weight? Isn't he shorter? Look at him over there.
And he dyed his hair.
John Mabry is the first baseman now for the rest of the afternoon. The 2-2. On the rare times when McGwire does not start a game, Mabry is the guy that's got to get in there, and he's the guy that's got to hear it from all the fans that did not want to see John Mabry playing that day. There was a fan in Milwaukee that yelled at him, "I didn't pay $80 to bring my family here and look at you." The pitch comes up and it hits Galarraga. Now Galarraga, remember, has been hit a couple times in the last week and a half.
And has charged the mound.
But there was a history with Galarraga and Darren Dreifert of the LA Dodgers. There is no such history between Bottenfield and the Big Cat. Galarraga right now is appealing a 3-game suspension as a result of what happened with Dreifert.
Just trying to come in with a fastball. Got it a little too far. Where's that elbow pad to protect his elbow? The ball just missed the elbow pad and hit him just below the left shoulder. Should have brought that elbow up a little bit. Wouldn't have a big welt there tomorrow.
Ground ball towards second. They get one. The return. Not in time, says Harry Wendelstedt. Ryan Klesko is safely across.
Fusco got down the line pretty good on that ball. That ball was almost a routine ground ball. Really wasn't hit hard enough for a double play. But if he dodged it just a little bit, he's going to be out at first. Bang Bang play at first base. All the umpires are under a little more scrutiny today, Jock, after that first inning.
Now Javi Lopez, runner on, 2 out. And Bottenfield misses outside. Lopez and the other catcher for the Braves, Eddie Perez, have combined for as many runs batted in this year as Mark McGwire. That's a pretty good catching platoon.
Pretty good from your catcher.
Lopez has 89 runs batted in.
With 28 home runs.
Make it 29, yep. The Cardinals thought they had turned a double play to get out of the inning. They did not. Lopez responds with a 2-run home run. It is 2-0.
Bottenfield's been getting a lot of fly balls on high fastballs. There's one way up in the zone. Lopez just tomahawks it.
Number 29 for Javi Lopez. No major league catcher has more this year. Andrew Jones, the hitter, offers it the first one. Bottenfield stabs it. He'll wing it across. And the inning is over. But the Lopez homer makes it a 2-0 game. And we'll be back after this.
They say the game these days is all about money. Well, not for the beer man. For the beer man, it's still about passion. When I crack open a cold Coors Light, I give 110%, just like those guys in the Rockies. And when a fan shouts, "Hey, beer man," that frost brew refreshment is delivered like an inside fastball. No, it's not about money. It's about exercise. I gotta drop some pounds.
Coors Light! Get your Coors Light here!
Mambo into Red Lobster and try our 30 shrimp dinner. Pick the 2 shrimp dishes that suit you. We pile on 30 shrimp for under $10. That's a lot of shrimp for just $9.99. The shrimp are jumping. So hurry in for your 30 shrimp dinner at Red Lobster. Because life on land is dry.
Work piling up? That's the perfect time to declare a national holiday. National Car Rental's declaring every day a national holiday. With our great holiday rates, you can escape to the outdoors, or the golf greens, or just about anywhere else by renting a midsize from National in Florida or California for only $159 per week. At this rate, you can't afford to stay home. So call National Car Rental now and declare your own national holiday.
You okay?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
It's very clear our love is here to stay. Not for a year, but ever and a day.
Just checking.
Our love is here to
Hello?
stay.
Just checking.
If you could always speak your mind.
How's it going, Joe?
My wife's cheating on me.
Good for her.
You'd be sued. Costello, coming September 8th to Fox.
Braves up 2-0 on the Lopez home run. Rene Latchman is the manager because of what happened at the end of the first inning. Mark McGwire called out on the strikes. He ends up getting tossed from the game, as does manager Tony La Russa and pitching coach Dave Duncan. No more McGwire this afternoon. And the first batter here in the bottom of the 4th, Delano DeShields. He takes the strike. And George Brett, suddenly the McGwire chase has all kinds of sidebar stories to it. A nice play by Glavin, athletically down the mound to get it. And DeShields is retired. You've got this burgeoning controversy here today, and now the sticky sidebar that runs alongside that issue of androstenedione. Whether you want to call it a drug or a dietary supplement, it builds muscle mass. It helps quicken recovery time after injury. So if McGuire's pecs are sore after a 2-hour workout, Andro supposedly helps them heal so he can get back to the weight room sooner instead of later.
And as a result, he's stronger because he's putting an effort in, not only during the game, but after the game, working out.
But now you hear a lot of talk about tainting. You hear the word cheating. You hear the word asterisk.
Well, I don't think it's cheating if you can go into your local GNC store and buy it.
Langford takes, and the count 2-0.
He didn't try to hide anything by doing this. He had it right out in his locker. Okay, there's a lot of players taking all kinds of muscle enhancement drinks and pills and things like that are legal.
There's the first base hit off Tom Glavin today. It is Langford ripping it into center field. 1 on, 1 out, and normally this would be McGuire's turn. Instead, it's the lefty John Mabry. And if he gets booed, he certainly shouldn't take it personally here. He'll get cheered. Now, on the subject of Andro, though, George, it's certainly not something that you want to try at home. McGuire uses androstenedione in moderation and under the supervision of the Cardinals trainers. That could take a little while to clean up. But they will attempt to do so. Mabry waiting for his turn right now for a Zima game break. We want to return you to Chip Carey. He's in the Fox Network Center. Hey, Chip.
Hey, Josh. Well, they're not tossing popcorn, but they sure are having fun at Yankee Stadium. Bernie Williams leading the AL in hitting with a double. Our single drives home 2 runs. It's 6-0. New York, back to you in St. Louis.
Wow. 6-0 already, and quickly. A strike to John Mabry, and they'll leave the popcorn on the warning track, by the way. So Brian Klesko has a little something in his cleats. He will know what it is. The 0-1 missing. Ball and a strike, 1 on, 1 out.
I played with a guy in Kansas City, a left fielder, Bo Jackson. If Bo Jackson was playing in this game, I guarantee you he would run out there and start eating some of that popcorn between innings. He used to get his sunflower seeds on the AstroTurf in Kansas City and build a big mound. He wouldn't put them in his back pocket. He'd just put a big pile of them on the turf and eat them right off the turf.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Mabry. Yeah, that's got to taste pretty good. We talked about Mabry when he was in Milwaukee. The fans were giving him the business. Mabry actually received a note from one of the fans who was giving it to him most severely. And some bonus beverages for his trouble, too, that came in the mail. Mabry's been a very good sport about playing second fiddle to Mark McGuire.
I'll tell you, he could play on some other major league teams. This guy's a quality player. 260 with 9 home runs and 40 RBIs on a part-time role.
2-2 from Glavin. He is fouled back. But, George, just to finish on this subject, it won't go away, the androstenedione. If Mark McGuire was going for the record for single-season sacks in the NFL or the record for the Olympic hammer throw, then maybe we've got a problem. An asterisk in waiting, maybe. But McGuire plays baseball, and it is over-the-counter legal, as you say, in baseball.
In baseball.
So let's put the asterisks away.
And once, Josh, they make it illegal in baseball, that's when he said, I will quit taking it.
That's right. And remember, he was a 50 home run hitter before he had heard of androstenedione.
As Dave McKay says, he hit 48 home runs and he didn't know what vitamin C was.
The 2-2. Mabry socks it down the third base line. Chipper Jones looking for it. And we stay at 2-2. 1 on, 1 out. 2-0 Atlanta. Glavin has allowed just one hit. And the count worked at 3-2. Not something you see that often from Glavin or from... And you really can't go wrong giving the Cy Young to either of those guys. Let's not forget the Andy Ashbys of the world. Another foul ball. Kevin Brown obviously having a super year for San Diego. The Padres are jockeying with the Atlanta Braves for best record in the National League. And as Bobby Cox says, that means something this year. You've got a home field advantage all the way through the NLCS if you get, and only if you get, that best record.
And that's big, having home field advantage.
The end of a long at bat. Mabry is down on strikes. Strikeout number 3 for Tom Glavin. And here's that playoff picture with the Braves and the Padres. And don't forget about the Astros with the big unit.
What an acquisition that's been. He threw another shutout last night.
And as far as the wild card, the Giants have most of their games left at home. Little tougher road, especially for the Mets. They play higher quality opponents than the Cubs for the most part. Jordan peels one out of play.
You know, it's interesting, Josh. Ever since the first inning when everybody started throwing the balls on the field, now I'm watching every ball go in the stands, which is something I rarely ever do, and see if they throw it back.
Again, for the most part, the fans, and these are very baseball literate fans here in St. Louis, they have done the right thing today. But a few have not. And Harry Wendelstedt had to saunter over into the dugout to phone upstairs and let it be known that if all that continued, if there were things being thrown on the field, this could be a forfeit in favor of Atlanta.
And the black eye for the city of St. Louis.
One ball, 2 strikes to Jordan. He's 0 for 1. But what a comeback season he's had, hitting .319. Did not make the All-Star team, but you can certainly make the case that he should have. It's just that during the time that All-Star ballots were available, no team had fewer home games than St. Louis. They were only home 8 dates. While you could make your mark on those All-Star ballots, and Jordan did not get in.
He was the leading hitter of the National League at the All-Star break. I don't think that's ever happened before, has it?
Don't think so.
The leading hitter in your league is not an All-Star.
Or at least doesn't get invited as a backup by the manager. Well, if not an All-Star, maybe the comeback player of the year in the National League this year. As he takes down and in, the count blossoms full. Last year, Brian Jordan hit just .234. Missed more than 100 games. He had the back injury. This year, he had the good fortune to run into the track and field guru, Bobby Kersey, at a mall. And Kersey recruited Jordan to train with him over the winter. He's in great shape now. And he is also on base. That bumps Langford to second. And Ron Gant, who's got a home run history against Tom Glavin, is going to be the batter. He's the go-ahead man here in the 4th inning.
He's had the most success of any player on the Cardinals against Glavin.
He homered twice off him in Game 3 of the NLCS 2 years ago. Solo shot and a 2-run homer for all the runs in a 3-2 Cardinal win. And even in the regular season, Gant a couple of home runs in 20 career at-bats against Tom Glavin. Rips, and he couldn't get it.
That might be the best pitch he's going to get this whole series or this whole at-bat. That ball was middle in. Glavin usually stays away from that area of the plate. Inside, off the plate for balls, and away, off the plate for strikes.
1 ball, 1 strike. Gans had the game-winning single last night. In the 10th inning, it was the first time the Cardinals won a game when trailing after 8 all year.
And they've lost their fair share after winning after 7 or 8, too.
The 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. After the 5-pitch 3rd inning, Glavin has to work a little harder in the 4th. Looking for that outside strike. Trying to expand at that corner, as you've talked about. Didn't get it, and it's 3-1. Swings on a hitter's count, but not necessarily a hitter's pitch right there. Glavin just doesn't give in. When it's 2-0 or 3-1, it just doesn't seem to matter.
Well, he doesn't throw it down the middle when it's 3-1. He has such confidence in his control and can locate the ball so well. 3-1 count there with 2 guys on base. He threw a pitcher's pitch. That ball would have been called a strike, probably, make it 3-2, but that ball was down and away right on the black.
Stepping out with 2 on. These guys will be in motion now. Full count, 2 down in the inning. Glavin hunting for his 18th win of the year. Runners go, and he walked him. Back-to-back walks. Something you see from Glavin as infrequently as a McGuire ejection. We've seen both of them
about once a year.
So the batter with the bases loaded will be the youngster Fernando Tatis, acquired from the Texas Rangers at the trade deadline. And last night, he showed why that might have been a good idea. This to tie the game.
It made Gary Gaetti a fan favorite here and longtime player. Expendable, who's now with the Chicago Cubs. They like this kid's future.
Outside, it's 1-0.
Well, he's missing bad for Glavin today, this inning.
Glavin retired the first 10 that he faced in this game, but now Langford, Jordan, and Gant are all on. Outside and not getting the wide corner that he may be accustomed to. It's 2-0.
And the Cardinals aren't swinging at that pitch.